Hi there. This is a Fender Squier Jazzmaster Baritone, and 2016 I believe. And I've got it all ready for setup. I do these videos when somebody buys a guitar or bass from me just to kind of have a record of the setup, and it'll be up on YouTube in case they want to go back to it later, see what I did. Hopefully in a year or so, if they want to set it up again, they can use it as a reference point. So just starting out, there is more than one way to tune a baritone, I know, and I'm no expert, but I think one of the most standard tunings, and the way I've got this set up, is the low string is a B, and then it goes E, A, D, and then F sharp, and then a high B. And there's some other tunings out there, but this one seems to be used the most, and you can play all your regular shapes you do on a normal guitar. So just looking at this thing to start, it's got a big amount of relief in the neck. So very first thing, I'm going to turn the truss rod on this, and we'll see if we can flatten out that neck. And this is the size Allen wrench, Allen key you need for this. It doesn't take the standard, well, not standard, but the larger 3/16 I think it is, a lot of Fenders use. So we need to tighten it quite a bit probably. I'm going to loosen first a little bit just to release any tension on the neck. And just start tightening this guy. And I've already loosened the strings a little bit. To get at this truss rod, you really need to loosen up the third and fourth strings just to make room for the wrench. Okay, that should be getting us somewhere. Oh yeah, so sighting down the neck now, it looks real flat. We'll see if I've gone too far. I'll do. Okay, so still does have some relief in the neck, maybe a tiny bit more than I'd want, but it's already playing really nice. And the action is pretty decent. Could come down a little bit, but no buzzing going on. I'm going to see if I can get away with tightening that truss rod just a tiny bit more. Now, a lot of times when I turn a truss rod, I don't bother loosening strings, but because a baritone has so much string tension going on with these really heavy gauge strings, it's worth loosening those strings. It'll just make turning the truss rod easier and put less stress on the neck. Now this thing was getting pretty tight, but I bet we still have some room to go. Okay, let's see where that puts us. I'll get an exact measurement on the relief, but of course you got to be in tune before you do that to get an accurate idea of the relief. Alright, so we're putting a capo on at the first fret, and then I'm going to guess that the relief might be about 0.008. That's just my guess. And I will fret at the 17th and check at the 8th. 008 just fits under there, so it's a little more, maybe zero. We're at 0.009 here, which for this neck, probably not a bad place to be. Now, because I've turned that truss rod, brought the action down a little bit more, this is about 0.60 at the 12th fret, which is actually pretty nice. See if it's still non-buzzy. Seems like it. Love it. So fat. I love it when a guitar just, the setup just comes together that quickly. So we've got it now where there is just a nice amount of relief in the neck, and the action's really great. And it seems to be playing good all over the neck. I'm gonna play on every fret in a second here, and just check for any little buzzing or anything funny, but I'll do that off camera. But so far, it sounds like it's playing great. So one thing I noticed when I plugged this in was everything's good except the switch is kind of backwards. So in other words, when I have it pointed back towards the bridge pickup, it's actually playing on the neck pickup. And when I have it going towards the neck pickup, the bridge pickup is on. So that's a pretty easy fix. We just have to loosen up this switch, get under that pick guard, turn it around, and then tighten it back up. It's just moved over time because this nut on top of the switch here has gotten loose. Okay, so I've removed all the pick guard screws, and with the pick guards on these Jazzmasters like this, it's pretty easy to just peek underneath there and just turn this switch around, assuming the wiring will let me, which it did so far. Tighten it back up. Now this way, when I'm switching back towards the back of the guitar, it should be on the bridge, and I will actually grab a spanner wrench. These are one of the best ways to tighten something like this without scratching the pick guard. And just put it on there and tighten. There we go. Keep that level. Tighten it a bit more. Okay, nice and tight. And while we're in here, since we have the pick guard kind of off the guitar, we'll just spray out the pots with a little contact cleaner. And actually, if I was smart, I'd plug it in before I put all the screws back on. Just make sure I got enough in there and that it's quiet now. Nice and quiet now. We can make sure that that's the correct pickup. Yep, that's bridge, that's neck, and that's both. Okay, and to this point, I have not talked about string action much, because when I turned that truss rod, it just happened that the strings came to almost a perfect level. They're all just about sitting at 0.060, but the third string, which is the A string on this, is just a little higher than the others. So I'll just quickly bring that down. Kind of interesting setup on these. You can adjust string height with the individual saddles. And I'm just about as low as I'm going to get with this third string. It's just about 0.60, so it might be just okay right there. But the other thing is you can adjust the entire bridge with the two screws on the sides here. So if I want to, I could bring them all down a tiny bit. The nut slot for this string could be a little wider. Yeah, and that'll help the string sit lower on this end. So I might do that real quick. So I don't know how much difference it's going to make in the height of this string, but I'd like to get that nut slot cut a little better anyway. This nut's actually cut pretty nicely if you just go across and check by holding on the 3rd fret and then checking the height on the 1st fret. These are all really nice and low with just a tiny bit of clearance, but that 3rd string has a little more than the rest, and I think I see why, because the nut slot here it's just not quite wide enough for how wide these strings are. So I'm just using a nut file to bring it down a tiny bit here, maybe. Tighten the string back up and see where it's sitting. I have to keep reminding myself this is not the A string, this is the, this is the A string, it's not the D string. It's the 3rd string on this guitar. Tuning's different. Okay, now it's about on par with its buddies. And now at the 12th, yeah, we're in a good spot. So now I'm just going to set the intonation, and this guy will be done. Wow, what are the chances? The high B was perfectly intonated at the 12th. The F sharp is 2. The D. Wow. This does not happen often. The E makes such a big adjustment on the truss rod, and it just happens to come into perfect. Okay. The A string, which is that 3rd string, is sharp at the 12th. And the saddles on this guy are a little archaic, strange, but it involves you having to loosen the string quite a bit, get it out of the way, and actually loosen the screw holding that saddle in place, and you have to manually by hand move the saddle where you want it. Now I'm just guessing maybe I'll move it back that much, since I need to make it go flat at the 12th fret. I need to lengthen the string, move the saddle back, and then check, tune up again and check. Oh, we got lucky. That was perfect. Okay, so the E string, oh, so close. I think that might be, so that's open. Yep, that's on. So just the low B. Wow. Oh. Sometimes, on the tuner it registers on and then it falls down flat. Okay, that's on. Wow, this thing's intonated already. That's nice. That sounded good to my ear. Okay, last thing here, just wanted to know what we did on this. So the setup was done today, February 11th. Checked electronics, neck relief, checked the strings, polished the frets, set string height, intonation, checked pickup height, polished the guitar, down-tuned it to ship. String height is set at 0.060 inches at the 12th fret. Neck relief at the 8th fret is 0.009 inches. And I just noted the tuning we have it set for is B, the low B, then E, A, D, F sharp, and the high B.